All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC. We're the best reviews wrestling and your three-time YWC channel of the year. And I'm back here. It is now officially Sunday, July 13th of 2025. So we are coming off the heels of an absolutely epic AEW All In Texas event from Globe Life Field. The place was rocking and such, and it was such a great event, man. It was such a great atmosphere. I didn't get the chance to watch it live, unfortunately, because I was at work most of the day late, from 3 to about 9, so I ended up missing the show. I did catch parts of the 0 hour, but the entirety of the show, I didn't get the chance to watch it live, which sucks, but I went back and I watched, most of the matches, especially like the later ones. I watched the 2 Casino Gauntlet matches, the main event, the Okada Mega match, the Tony Storm Mercedes Moné match, and they were all as good as advertised, as good as I expected them to be. And in terms of my predictions, I'm pretty sure I got a good majority of my picks right, outside of maybe a few matches here and there with some surprises and stuff. But it was an amazing event. It was an incredible event, and it was a great time. For those of you, anybody out there who was there at the event, I'm sure it was great. I'm sure it was a great experience and all that kind of stuff. And so what I wanted to do with this video, since I actually had an early day, a morning shift here, at my at work for the first time in God knows how long. So I'm actually I'm home here. It's a little past 3 p.m. My time, 3:45, technically going on 4 p.m. here, and I'm already back home from work, and I'm just chilling out here. So I figured I'd go ahead and make this video to talk a little bit about the events of the last day or so, with the shows that took place, specifically AEW All In Texas, but I also want to make reference to the the other company, WWE, in terms of the events that they held. So what I want to do here, what I want to touch on in this video, is I wanted to talk about AEW All In Texas's overall attendance and compare it to the 3 shows that WWE had held over the weekend. And I kind of wanted to just basically talk about, just the massive failure that WWE has had with their shows that they have had over this weekend, over the course of the last 2 days or so, here Saturday and now here today Sunday. So and I mentioned this a few times already. I posted about this on my Blue Sky account. I was planning on making a post here on the channel, but I decided I'd do a video instead, since I'm off now, and I'm pretty much chilling out here. I've been thinking about doing this for since last night, really, but I was so tired and I knew I had to come in the morning, so I decided, I'll do the video tomorrow. But anyway, that's what this is. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to compare the overall attendance numbers for AEW's All In Texas show, and compare it to the 3 shows that WWE's had over the weekend. 2 yesterday and 1 they're going to have later today apparently, and just kind of give you an idea as to just how much WWE failed in terms of their attempt to counter book and counter program AEW. They and I mentioned this before in the video. WWE had announced 3 shows. They planned and they booked 3 shows around this weekend, centered around AEW's All In Texas, and it was all in an attempt to counter promote and take eyes off of and take attention off of AEW, and they failed miserably. It was a massive failure on a multitude of levels, and this is one of the biggest indications of it being a failure. So I'm going to compare. I'm going to give you guys the numbers in just a minute. I'm going to give you the numbers for AEW All In Texas, the attendance numbers, and then I'm going to give you the attendance numbers for all 3 WWE shows, and we're going to see just how much of a comparison is there. All right, so AEW's All In Texas, I got, again, right here, I got my laptop in front of me in case you don't notice. AEW's All In Texas at Globe Life Field in Arlington had an attendance number of roughly 25,671 people, but it also says that the adjusted or configured capacity was 27,232. Now the rough estimate, or the number that everybody's focusing on, is the 25,671. So that's what I'm going to use. And then there are several sites that there's several websites out there, several wrestling sites or reports that say it's higher than that. That it's around that 27,000 figure. That's for the comps and the additional seating configurations beyond the main setup. But regardless of which number it is, just know that that's somewhere where that's around that. It's around that figure, around that ballpark of 25,000. So 25,671 people. Let's just go with that number for now, for the sake of argument. 25,671 people attended AEW All In Texas yesterday at Globe Field. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, let's move on to Saturday night's main event, which was held last night from the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas. The show overall sold 15,110 tickets. That's, of paid seats or people who paid for tickets. But the overall reported attendance, including comps, was 16,406. So you got 15,110 paid tickets sold or reported, but the total attendance, it's saying total attendance is 16,406. So let's just go with the 16,406 again, just for the sake of argument. So Saturday night's main event had a total attendance of 16,406. Okay, keep that in mind. 16,406. So then we move on to WWE's Great American Bash, held, by obviously that NXT show, the NXT show that aired at the same time as AEW's All In Texas at 3 p.m. That obviously that was strategic. They specifically had that show air at the exact same time as AEW All In Texas. So NXT's Great American Bash, which was held from Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia, that show had roughly 729 people in attendance for the show out of a total setup of 772. But 729 tickets were sold. So roughly 729 people were in attendance for that show. Okay, so you got 16,406 for Saturday night's main event. Then you got 729 people in attendance for Great American Bash. And then you add in the Evolution show that is going to take place today. I got all these numbers on the computer. I pulled all the stuff up. So yeah, it's a couple clicks. Okay, so according to this, WWE's Evolution show today, which is going to take place at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, has projected around 6,321 tickets distributed out of the available 6,652 seats. So roughly 6,300. So we're going to go with that number. 6,321 people will reportedly be in attendance for WWE's Evolution show later today. Okay, so of those three WWE shows that I just listed, okay, you got Saturday night's main event, 16,406, NXT's Great American Bash, 729, and then WWE's Evolution show, which takes place later today, 6,321. All, again, individually, respectively, those are the attendances for those three shows. If you add the attendance of all three shows collectively, and I did this before I started this video, you get a grand total. Hold on, let me click on the number here. You get a grand total of 23,456. Okay? 23,000 of all the three shows, of those three shows, the combined attendance of all three of those shows held at completely different venues, mind you. The attendance for all three, if you add the if you add up the attendance for sorry, I can't fucking talk right now. If you add the attendance for all three WWE shows this weekend, you get a combined number of 23,456. Now, if you're keeping track, AEW's All In Texas had a total attendance number of 25,671. So you do the math, okay? 25,000 is obviously more than 23,000. You should know this. So by that figure, AEW's All In Texas had a bigger attendance number, had more people attend that one show than all three WWE shows over the weekend combined. Saturday night's main event, Great American Bash, and Evolution. Okay? The 25,671 people that attended AEW's All In Texas show was roughly 200,000 people more than the 23,456 figure, 23,456 people that were in attendance for 3 WWE shows. Okay, so in that sense, AEW's one show outsold and had a higher attendance than WWE's 3 shows that they had over the weekend combined. Combined. You can look this stuff up for yourself. I have no reason to fucking make this shit up. I literally just did the math for you. I literally just pulled up the numbers and the figures for you and added all of them up. I literally just did that for you. So, basically, the bottom line here is AEW got a higher attendance for their one show than WWE had for the 3 shows. 1 trumps 3. There you have it. Because I know how much of these anti-AEW, these anti-pro wrestling, these pro-WWE dickwads on this fucking site, on social media in general, and in the IWC, love to fucking talk that shit and talk about AEW. You can't sell out arenas. You half-empty arenas, half-empty stadiums. Oh my God, the attendance. Because they like to talk shit about, they like to talk about attendance and figures and all that bullshit, right? They like to talk about all that shit, right? Let's see them talk about this. I want to see one. I guarantee you, all these people who talk about the attendance numbers and all that bullshit, I guarantee you none of them are going to bring this up. Not a single one of these cocksuckers who do fucking videos on here, or anybody in the IWC in general, is going to bring up the fact that AEW's one show, one pay-per-view, AEW All In Texas, outdrew 3 fucking WWE shows over the weekend. Think about the gravity of that. Think about how that looks for WWE. The fact that 3 of their shows couldn't even match up to the AEW's 1. What an unbelievably epic fucking failure on WWE's part. And you know what? I fucking love it. I fucking love it. AEW's 1 show outdrew WWE's 3 shows. How is that for fucking numbers? How is that for fucking attendance? Are you cocksuckers going to talk about the attendance now? Are you going to bitch and moan and all that shit and talk your shit about AEW's attendance now? Talk about half-empty arenas and all this bullshit? Yeah, that's what I thought. A lot of these cocksuckers are real silent. They've been real quiet the last day. I bet you wonder why. It's no surprise. It's no secret. Because they know fucking WWE failed. That's why they're fucking not saying anything. That's why they're not talking that shit like they usually do when it comes to these fucking pay-per-views and shit for AEW. Because this is an absolute, an incredible, epic failure by WWE of massive proportions. The fact that they had to put 3 shows on one weekend and they still got outdrew and out fucking. The fact that they still got beat by one show of AEW's, that is an epic failure. That is a monumental failure. And it is. I cannot imagine how fucking Triple H and the people and the powers that be in WWE think about this blunder. What they think about when they see these fucking numbers and they see what AEW did with All In Texas, I'll bet you nobody's fucking happy backstage. I'll fucking put money on it. Guarantee you they're not fucking happy about this. This is fucking incredible. You had to put 3 shows on one weekend and you couldn't even beat AEW's 1 show in terms of overall attendance. What a fucking failure. What a fucking failure. That is hilarious, dude. That fucking made my day. That made my weekend. You love to see it. You love to see it. Now I love to see any of these anti-AEW dickwads on social media and this IWC shit try and talk about this. Just try and counter this. Just try and come up with an excuse for this. Just try and come up with... I want to see somebody just try to come up with an excuse for this fucking blunder. Just try to. I'm begging you. I dare you to try to come up with an excuse for this. Try to come up with an excuse for WWE's blunder for this shit. It is fucking... It is fucking hilarious, dude. It is hilarious, and I fucking love seeing it because I love the fact that all these maggots on social media who talk all that hard shit about AEW and the attendance and all these numbers and these figures and these metrics and shit, you're all fucking silent now Oh man, you fucking love to see it. You love to see it. AEW's 1 outdraws and trumps WWE's 3. You love to see it. You love to see it. What an epic failure on WWE and Triple H's part. So that's pretty much all I got to say for that. That's pretty much all I have to say for this video. Thank you guys for watching here. Be sure to like the video, hit that like button, leave a comment, give me your thoughts on anything I talked about here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support you get. That being said, it's pretty much going to do it, man. So AEW, I might as well say it. AEW wins again. You'll love it. But anyway, that's all I got to say for this. Thank you for watching. Till next time, Wrestling Otaku, I'm out. See you guys later. Peace.